Peace. Can you hear me?
My man.
How's it going, brother? How's it going, man?
So far, so good, brother. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, man. It is good to meet you finally, man. It's
Finally,
good to meet you.
finally we here.
Finally, we made it. We made it, man. We,
Uh,
we made it.
it's been texts going on back and forth on
I
social media.
know. Yeah,
Finally, it's, it's an honor to meet you, man. Appreciate
man.
it.
It's an honor as well, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this interview for a while now, and like you said, we've been back and forth. We both been busy, so it's great to finally speak to you, man. On this beautiful Saturday. So yeah, man, super excited.
Yeah, we
But
appreciate it.
but how are you? How is things over in South Africa?
So everything is good, man. Things are starting to open up due to the restrictions, this COVID thing, but so far so good. The training is good. I'm back at training full time. Um, Tomorrow actually is the provincial trials for the
Yeah.
SAT. So I'm looking forward to that, and in a few weeks' time there's gonna be nationals. So yeah, things are really opening up, and we can only hope for the best, and fingers crossed, and just hope for the COVID to subside on on another level, so that we can start having spectators at events, start having big events. When it goes down, it calls up other promoters to actually have events. So for us athletes, that just means that we can have more fights, and more experience and more time in the cage, and get better, ultimately. So yeah, things are looking good so
Amazing,
far.
man. Amazing.
Yeah,
And no doubt 2021 is going to be a great year for you. No doubt, man.
definitely got big plans. There's a lot of things I'm actually looking forward to. It's not really finalized as yet. It's still in the works, but I might have a title fight on the 17th of April.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. Like I said, tomorrow is the trials so I'm looking forward to getting into the provincial team, and then hopefully getting to the SA team, and sometime I think they said next sometime during the year, then we can go to African championships, and then eventually the world championships. So yeah, a lot of things looking forward, and also I'm going to get a feels of the new division, which is lightweight division. I've been fighting middleweight and welterweight,
Yeah.
so I'm really looking forward to having a couple of fights at lightweight also this year, and also turn pro, obviously, at the end of the year. And yeah, so things are really looking up, man. Big
Amazing, man.
plans.
Big
Yeah.
big plans for 2021, and no doubt, like I said, it's going to be a great year, man. It's going to be a great year. And I
Uh,
mean, you're a rising star from South Africa. Eight amazing wins on your record. 12 fights in total, is that correct? 12 fights.
uh, in, in
That's
thing
according to Topology.
uh topology didn't add most of my fights. My
I
record,
see. I thought so.
my yeah, I have 19 fights. My record
19.
is my record is 13-6.
Nice. Nice.
So um yeah, and all my wins have been all my losses have been great stepping stones to my wins, and a great learning curve, uh also to my wins, and also to my career long term. So I'm grateful for both the wins and the losses.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing, man. And is it true that you fought 5 times in 2019 and 5 times in 2018? Or I'm guessing maybe more because of the the ones that weren't
uh
added to Topology.
yeah, that might be true.
Okay.
I don't really know how much I fought in a year, but
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, that might be true. I mean, if we if you also in 2019, if you also add the provincial fights, the national fights, and the all African fights, and also the world championships in 2019, which was held in Bahrain.
Bahrain, yeah.
So I was also part of the SA team then. And yeah, so if we add all of those things, it might add up to 5 or more, 6 maybe.
Amazing.
But yeah, 2019 was by far the best year I've ever had.
Yeah.
My MMA career. I got my first belt there 2019. I really got awareness, and people started realizing who I am in 2019, and I started really getting into the MMA world and in everybody's ears, everybody's lips that year. So it is by far my best years. But yeah. But hey, there's more coming, definitely.
100%, man. 100%. And I mean, I've got so many questions that I want to ask, super excited. But to begin with, I thought a good question would be is, where did the whole dream come from? Where did the whole dream of competing in MMA, and how did it come about? What's your story?
Look, man, growing up, I was a normal kid. Most black families, the first toy they get the son is a soccer ball. So I played soccer most of my life, and I started getting into the bad crowd. Then I started doing bad things, and then the soccer thing just went out. It just ran out of me. And I went to high school. After I finished high school, I went to college to Vega in PTA here in South Africa. And the second year I dropped out. That was in 2014. No, 2015. That was in 2015. And so I went home for the rest of the year, and obviously parents are disappointed. What are we going to do with this kid? I mean, my parents have a company, so which is a family company. So they were hoping, obviously, me to join in. And I have a brother. He's in it, with my mom, with my dad. Everybody is in the company, and by God's grace, the company is doing good. Shout out to my parents, by the way. And yeah, and so one, I didn't want to work for my family because I had to sit in the office. Two, I didn't want to go to school. I felt like I wasn't cut out for it. Three, I didn't want any job that required me to wear a uniform. So my dad, pushed me to becoming a police officer, a soldier, a traffic officer, but I wasn't in it. So this one morning in 2016, it's in March, I can't remember the day. This one morning, my dad is in his room. My mom is with me in the kitchen. My mom says to me, okay, look, you don't want all of these things. You don't want to do anything. You don't work for anybody. Now be honest with me. What do you want to do? From the top of my head, I was like, I want to fight. My mom was like, wait, what? You want to fight? I was like, yeah, I want to fight. And that thought came mainly from one person. This is actually a funny story. Brock Lesnar.
Nice.
But not Brock Lesnar from UFC. Brock Lesnar from WWE. So he was in WWE, right? And he left for about 10, 12 years. Then when he came back vicious. He had these short MMA gloves on. He was beating these guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, what has this guy been doing? He came bigger, stronger, So I looked back into the years, and that was the first time I actually got introduced to MMA. This one was like, oh, this is what he's doing, and I was instantly hooked. And that was that was only a couple of months before me and my mom had this chat, and I just said I want to fight, and my mom was like, okay, cool, we're giving you a year to show us where this fighting is going to take you. And to be honest, a year in MMA, in mixed martial arts, it's a short period of time. In a year, you basically have just learned a tip, of the basics
Yeah.
of the whole game: wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, stunts, kicking, kickboxing, all these things. You've only learned a little bit, a piece of it, and it's not enough. But hey, I was like, oh, okay, mom, this is it. You give me a year. Let me see what I can do. I promise you, I'm not kidding. I trained 4 to 5 times a day. I did anything and everything that supported me, pushing me to fighting. Anything. Whether it meant running, it meant flipping tires. I watched videos all day. I didn't do nothing. I ate, I slept, I thought MMA because I had a year. And if I didn't make it happen in a year, I'm going to live a miserable life, which is doing exactly what I don't want to do. You understand? And that year, at the end of the year, I had my first fight and first amateur fight, and I won. And so that gave my parents a little hope that, okay, let's give him another year. And then they gave me another year, and then more fights came, started winning. And 2018, I went to a big stage because I was fighting for K10, which is Clash of Fight Night. And then I went to the big stage, which is Fighstars. Which was then the biggest promotion ever.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Fighstars. I lost my first fight. And from then I've just been on a tear and just coming back to Fighstars, doing what I do best. And finally we're here. And now the same dream that my parents didn't understand and didn't see the vision of, which I also, I had to admit this also to myself, that this wasn't a dream from a very young age. It wasn't a dream that I had from a young age. When I said it, I just said it from the top of my head because I just didn't want to do what I didn't want to do, which is work for somebody or get a job that requires me to wear uniform or obviously not. Eventually, after my career, I am going to join the family business, but at that time, it wasn't in me. I had this desire to do something else, but I didn't know what. And then from the top of my head, I just said I want to fight, and I didn't know that by doing that, there was instinct that drove me to the dream that I have now. They drove me to me being a 2-time national champion. They drove me to become a EMF African champion in the welterweight division. They drove me to become the 5-star middleweight champion. They drove me to become this athlete that in 2021 he's looking to get a welterweight title from a promotion and get a lightweight title from a promotion before turning pro. This was just instant. For that one moment, they drove me all the way here.
Wow.
And I can't be thankful enough, brother. I'm so blessed and grateful for what I've achieved so far.
Wow. That is truly an amazing story, man. And shout out to your parents once again who supported you on this journey and who agreed. Your mom is amazing for saying, okay, yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And I mean, you're here now, man, and
I'm here, bro. Every accomplishment of mine, when I thank when I thank the people that supported me. You know, I've always said the person that started this dream is my mom. I've always said it because of that moment right there. You know, and I still have the vivid picture in my head when we stood there and she was asking me, "You don't want to do anything. What do you want to do?" That moment right there changed the whole trajectory of my life, bro. And I can't appreciate my mom any better than, you know, she for that moment. But oh, but also right now, the whole family is in the wagon. The whole family is supportive. When I'm not going to training, it's a problem. They asking me why 100 training. You've been sitting for too long. You understand?
Yeah.
So now, so the whole family is in. I have a brother, very supported, very, behind me and working with me. You know, he searches stuff that will better my training. He will send me a link of an equipment that he saw a video of somebody using it and says maybe it'll help you get this or whatever. He is tremendously supportive. My dad on another level, you know, my dad is more of a mental supporter, if I may put it that way. If there is somebody like that. My dad never went to any of my fights because not because he doesn't want to, but because he can't see and he can't allow himself to see maybe me getting kicked, me getting hit.
Of course.
But the mental strength and that the spiritual, strength that my dad pushes me through, you know, it's the best. You know, mentally so, spiritually so. He drives me, he drills me. You know, he tells me stories that I will sit one day and be like, he told me this story and this person did this. Let me try this, you know. And most of the time it worked better for me, and I can't be thankful enough. I'm just blessed and grateful for the parents and the supportive that I have, and everybody that's just been here, you know. And also, so in 2018, in 2018 or beginning of 2019. So back at home, I'm in Springs now in Joburg, you know. So I moved to a new club, which is the House of Tinkerbell.
I noticed, yeah. House of Tinkerbell.
Head coach JP Kruger. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my coach. And so back home in Potchefstroom in the Northwest, I was at the club called CCS, and sadly because of the COVID, it's been shut down.
Is that close combat solutions?
Close combat solutions. So there's a guy in Potch. His name is Charles Monahan. So this man, he's a fitness guy. This man, this is one of the people that I can't succeed in this career and leave them behind. If I do that, God will punish me. I can't leave this man behind.
Is he the guy who in all your videos? Because I've seen all your strength and conditioning videos, and I can hear him in the background, and he's like, "Come on, yeah."
That's
like giving
the
you
guy.
Heads up. Oh man, he sounds like the best coach in the world, man.
That's the guy, bro. I told everybody, I've never, respectfully to everybody that I've trained with and that have trained me, I'm saying this out of total respect, but I've never been trained by somebody that knows how to get somebody to the peak of the best. Charles does it more than anybody else.
And how long have you like been training with him for?
3 years now.
3 years. Wow. And I see
Yeah,
that he's got you doing a lot of like strength and conditioning with
yeah.
resistant bands and a
It
lot
was
of
just then.
explosive movements, and
Yeah.
it looks like
Let me say,
amazing training, man.
look, I didn't realize how strong I was until last week, actually. So so I moved to Joburg, right? So I only train with Charles when I'm back home, right? So it's a 2 hour drive away, you know. So Charles has obviously been this strength and conditioning workouts, elastic bands, but I've never really had the opportunity to utilize my strength and putting it to a test, whether in a fight or anywhere else, right? So last week, I came to Springs, and we do strength and conditioning at CrossFit Noise, uh, in Boxburg. Shout out to Vaynard Wishes, who is the coach there. Um, he is drilling us. So last week we're doing deadlifts and squat, but we're going from a lower weight and went just higher and higher and higher until you break, until at your peak. I didn't know how strong I was. I deadlifted 140 kgs
Jeez.
for the very first time in my life.
For the
That
very
is
first time. Shit, man.
that is double my weight class. That is double my weight, and immediately after that, I called Charles. I was like, "Yo, Charles, you're not gonna believe this, man. I just deadlifted 140 and I squatted 140. What in the world have you been doing to me?" He's like, "Dude, what do you think? What do you think these elastic bands, this thing has been for? You are strong. You just haven't noticed it. You just haven't realized it. You just haven't had the opportunity to utilize that strength and test yourself. You are very strong." And it was the first time I actually realized how strong I was. I was shocked, and I can't thank Charles enough. He's one person that I will not be successful and leave behind. Never. He will always be with me, somewhere, somehow. Charles Fitness, Charles Fresh Fit Food, they'll always be with me throughout, and I can't thank him enough. If you are, if any South Africans that will be listening and watching this, if you want to get a real pick in any sport that you are doing, any sport, tennis, rugby, cricket, any sport, you want to be on your tip top shape, your utmost level best, go to Potchefstroom, ask for a guy called Charles Fitness,
He's the
and
man.
he will do great things for you. I
He's the
promise
man.
you.
He sounds like
Enough,
the man. He sounds like the man.
enough.
And how important is it to have coaches like Charles, to have, such an amazing team around you? How important is it for you as a fighter to have these amazing, to have amazing family in your corner, to have amazing coaches in your corner? How important is it to you as a
Look,
fighter?
yeah, I mean, look, what what happens around me is absolutely not my responsibility. But what happens within me is 100% my responsibility. If I cannot control what's going on within me, anything that's going on around me will ultimately sabotage everything that's going on in me, and which ultimately my actions and how I speak will say it for itself. So to have the right circle influences the outer you that can positively influence the inner you, which is absolutely your responsibility. And that creates a monster in a good way. Then your mental strength will be good. Physically, you will feel. My dad always says this: if you look good, you will feel good, and if you feel good, you will do good. So if the best team is around you, you will feel good, and that makes you look good, and ultimately you will feel good. And when you feel good, you will do good. So it is very important to have the right people next to you. The support system, from support and love from family members, it's 100%,
Yeah.
and NB is very important. With
Yeah.
the coaches, it's cool. It's cool to have, most of athletes that I come across, they only have one coach, which is the club coach. And this coach does everything for them: their strength and conditioning, their wrestling, jiu-jitsu, uh, boxing. Maybe they have two coaches: her wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and like a kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and both of them, they help them with strength and conditioning and whatnot. But if you look at the greats, all of the greats, they have more than 5, 6 coaches, and and one coach could be a nutritionist. That's your coach also, because you don't just eat anything. You eat what this coach says is good for you, for the certain weight class, for the certain fight, for a certain reason. And you get a wrestling coach, which is cool. You get a jiu-jitsu coach, which is cool. Get a kickboxing coach, which is cool. Then you get one coach, who's a fitness coach. He works with the engine on the inside. He has nothing to do with boxing. He knows absolutely nothing, but he works with the engine on the inside. The car on the outside may look good, but if the engine is in a bad shape, the car's not going to perform at its highest uh, level peak. So most of these athletes that I come across, they've always focused on looking good in the cage. So spinning back kicks, spinning elbows, all these fancy submissions, and fancy fighting stance, kicks, punches, knockouts. Everybody has just been running for that. Um, but when the fight gets to round two, then you start seeing that now you cannot do that spinning back kick as effective now, because you are tired.
Yeah.
Why? The engine is not filled up enough. The engine is not working good. So I've always been the guy that focuses more on getting my gas tank on the inside correctly before anything else.
Yeah.
I promise you, I'm not a flashy fighter. I'm not a fighter that does some fancy stuff. Like, oh my goodness, you know, I've got good movement, head movement, footwork, uh, uh, one 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 coach says I'm a I'm a surgeon. I take my time, piece by piece. I don't chop the whole tree.
Don't
I
rush
just,
into anything.
yeah, and my gas tanks, it's very good, goes for long, right? So most of these guys, it's back to the question: how important is it? It's very important to get your gas tank in, to have all these coaches, and most importantly, trust these coaches. There are a lot of athletes that really don't trust uh, their coaches and what they telling them to do, because they think they know better.
Yeah.
Now that they are, I've had a lot of conversations with guys that really admitted that, "Hey, I don't trust what my coach tells me sometimes. I want to do this. He wants me to do that, do that." If you don't trust your coach wants the utmost best for you, and he knows what's good. He's been doing it for years. He's been in there. So he's been in the same situation in 1,000 more times. If you don't trust him, you are not going to go far. You're gonna make small mistakes, and they're gonna cost you. And at the end of the day, you're gonna blame the coach. But you need to look at what's going on within you, which is yourself, that you didn't trust your coach, and subconsciously, so you're admitting it to yourself also, that you don't trust him because you don't trust his methods. It's all about trusting your coach and your methods. the stuff that Charles made me do, that I was like, how in the world is this going to help me in a fight? But I had to learn to trust what he's teaching me, or what he wants me to do. And he made me a 5-star champion. He made me a 2-time national champion. He made me an African champion. I was ranked number 1 in 2 weight divisions, welterweight and middleweight. And I can't thank him enough. I can't thank my coaches enough. It's all because I trusted my circle enough that got me to ultimately fighting good and being good and looking good and feeling good at it. But all of these things, there's only one person above everything, which is God. If you also don't have that relationship with Him, it's a big problem. Ultimately, it will show off, and you'll pay for that.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
And so 100% agree with what you said about, one of the most important things is your gas tank. 100%, man. If you see the greats, they have something in common, which is an amazing gas tank. But coming to the mental side of things and the spiritual side of things, I saw some of your fights, and in a few of your fights, I saw the crowd, and I saw your family and your friends in your corner whilst the fight was taking place. Like I heard the songs that they were singing and the energy that they had, and man, I kid you not, I got goosebumps. And seriously, like, how is that? How is it having those kind of people, and how does that help you in the fight? I'm sure it helps you a lot.
Let me start off with the chance first. So growing up, my name is Peace, right? So even to today, when I meet somebody, I'm like, hey, my name is Peace. A lot of people think it's a nickname, because it's really not common to find somebody, what's your name, Peace. It's just like, so everybody thought it's a nickname. So I because of that, I never got a nickname growing up, and everybody has just called me Peace. Most of them thinking it's a nickname. And I have a second name, which is Olile. It's a Xhosa name, Olile. And then my mom started calling me X. So it began in the house, and then it went to our church, and then it went to fight scenes, and then it went all over. Now, when I fight, they chant X, X, and I kid you not, that thing, it just lights up. It just lights up the energy within me.
I can imagine.
Going back to that supportive system and that love that you get from those close with you. It just lights up the energy, and what it does is not more of me not wanting to disappoint them, but it's more of me doing everything that I can, because all that I can is all that I can, and all that I can is enough. I just have to make sure that I do all that I can in that fight. That's all that matters. And I do know if I do all that I can, they will still be supportive and grateful, and they will see, the work that I put in there, regardless of the results. And that drives me. Every morning after the fight, their voices are burned out. Their voices are burned out. They can't speak properly. I didn't ask them, and I'm not paying them for that. They doing purely out of love and care.
Oh,
And
you can tell. You can tell.
you understand? So I can't not do all that I can in there, and I cannot put in the work that I put in and sabotage that. You understand? So the mental wise, that's the mindset it gives me. That because of every fight, the next day, some of them are complaining. They want strep shows. They want throat sweets or whatever. Because of that, I can't allow them to go through that. And here you find me playing around. I'm not doing what I can. So in my mindset, it keeps me on my toes that because of that, I can't not do all that I can. So that's the mental state he's put me. When it comes to the spiritual part, so here's what I do throughout my day. If I'm not at training, I'm home watching fights, watching training videos, seeing what I can use and discarding what I'm not going to use, learning, trying to evolve mentally. So, and the fourth thing, I watch sermons. And I listen to podcasts of wise men, motivational speakers.
Yeah.
The Bible says listening to a wise man is health. So if I listen more enough of wise men, I get healthy within me, not outside, but within me. Where within me? It can't be on my stomach, it can't be on my physical being, but it has to be on my heart, my soul, and my mind. So I get healthy in my mind by listening to wise men. And what does that do? The Bible says faith comes by hearing, and by hearing the word. So if faith comes by hearing, and what I'm hearing makes me healthy on the inside, it also builds up my faith that all things are possible, that I can do all things, that I'm above and not beneath, that I'm the head and not the tail. So all of these things comes into fruition mentally, so strengthly, so because of what I'm listening to. So that's the mental and the spiritual part. That's where I get my power from mentally. That's where I get my power from spiritually. So I do know, and even in bad times, I do know Isaiah 40 verse 3 says, there are treasures in the darkness and there are riches in secret places. I do know that in every dark place I go through, I just need to be more focused enough to seek for that treasure that's in that darkness that I'm in at that time. And I do know for a fact that there are riches in secret places that God has both for me. And that is a promise, and my mindset, it sticks on it. That's the mental part. That's the spiritual part. That's where I get my power from. That's where I get my spiritual strength from. And also it transitions also to my physical being because of the body with what the mind says, and out of the abundance of the mouth, the heart will speak. So I will start speaking all that I have got in through my ear gate that came within me. Then I'll start speaking it. Because I started speaking it, I'm putting it out there. People are listening to it. Now that's a bondage of now we want to see.
Yeah.
So now it drives my physical being, my actions into doing it. That's where I get all my support from.
Wow.
And I can only motivate, especially young fighters, the youth, that, bro, we think we know everything. We think we can do everything, but just be planted in Jesus, and you will know what's going to happen. House of Tinkerbell, their slogan: every punch, every kick, every breath, every submission to glorify Jesus. Once you understand that concept, mentally, spiritually so, physically so, you'll become unstoppable and you'll move forward. Anything, look, anything that you do, you will navigate your way easily through life because you know whose you are and who's for you and what's in store for you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, it sounds like you have like an unstoppable force field of energy around you, family, coaches, friends, God, everything, man. It sounds like you have that winning formula, and it's amazing, man. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to witness, and yeah, it's incredible stuff. And another quick question that I wanted to ask as well. I saw a post from Amateur South Africa MMA Championship.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I I saw that the MMA South Africa established the Amateur Athletes Representative Subcommittee with the purpose of addressing amateur athletes' needs and concerns, and to ensure that athletes' rights within the sport are upheld and that the sport is continuously developed in all spheres.
Definitely.
Athletes will be able to consult with their fellow peers, who will in turn be available to address the board and its executive structures on matters arising.
Uh-huh.
I noticed that you were one of the guys who were elected. I'm
Yes.
not sure how many people there are in total, but it seems like a small group of people who have been selected for this role. How I wanted to just ask, I mean, how important is that type of role for you, and how much, how motivated are you and how inspired are you to inspire the up and coming generation, of rising fighters?
Like 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 I just said now, even in dark moments, you have to have enough fortitude and enough faith to seek for for the blessings in that darkness, because the Bible said there are treasures in the darkness. So 2020 was a bad year for me. My last fight, I lost by a spinning back kick. I got knocked out, right? And it was a bad, bad fight for me, right? Bad time, tough times for me. Honestly speaking, I was really on the verge of saying, let me hang my gloves up,
Yeah.
right? And let me just, I can still train, but let me not be active
Yeah.
longer. I was right there. Um, and while I'm in this dark place, I get a call and I'm told that I've been nominated to be the MMASA amateur representatives. Now tell me, is that not a treasure in the darkness?
Yeah, man. 100%.
Right.
100%.
So 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 when that happens, that basically a proof that whatever I read in the Bible is true, is right here happening. So that's one motivation I got to get up. It was like, oh, this is legit, you know. And let me say this: I got a call from a, from an athlete. So this athlete has been training not more than 8 months. Now this athlete believes that he is ready for for the trials and to be in the SA team, which I doubt not, because everyone's belief. I'm not gonna criticize anyone's belief. Your belief is your belief. You trust it. You believing in it. So I'm not gonna criticize that. That's a good belief system and mindset he has. Perfect. But then his coach says he's not ready, right? So now my job as a representative is to make him understand that, back to that point of trusting your coach, is to make him understand that you don't have any fights in MMA. You don't have any fights in boxing. You don't have any fights of kickboxing, of any sort of martial arts. You don't have any fights. You've only been training less than 8 months. and you are going to fight. You are going to go up against Francois Meyer. You are going to go up against Francois Meyer, who has more than 20 fights. You are going to go up against Peace, the guy who has 19 fights. You're going to go up against Gift Walker, Nathaniel Coman, Shannon, Eliza. You cannot make your MMA debut against guys like that. They are going to break your spirit. You are going to walk out of there and thinking to yourself, you are not good enough. Yeah. And that same belief that you had that you are ready is going to be broken simply because of you went into the fight at the wrong time with the wrong guy. So going to the MMA trials, you are going to face guys like that if you are in the division. So my job as a representative is to try to make athletes that are coming up understand that it is not only about what you can do at your gym that matters, but it is what your coaches see from within you. Sometimes you are really good, but maybe your mental state is not ready. Sometimes you are really good, but your heart is not in it, like your coach wants your heart to be in it, because he knows how it is to be inside of there. Right. So my job as a representative is to do that, is to motivate young and upcoming athletes that it is possible. You just need to listen to your coaches, right? Coaches, train hard, trust in your system, your skills, your technique, and come in the cage and have fun, regardless of the results. We all want to win. We all want to get to the top. That's cool. Most importantly, have fun. Leave everything in there so that when you leave, you will know you did all you can, because all you can is all you can, and all you can is enough. But you just have to make sure you're doing all that you can.
Yeah.
So yeah, and guide athletes on how to move forward with that. And the big thing about it also is the weight cut. You know, people think, you know, as especially MMA fighters, weight cutting is like an easy job. You just run around, and until you have to do a weight cut, you only realize, oh my goodness, you know, you have 2 kgs to drop, but you're already feeling like, I can't do this, you know. Also, yeah, help upcoming athletes, and also put out there some of the issues they have, you know, whether it could be financial, whether it could be transport wise, whether it could be how MMASA is running things. You know, I could be the voice of what I'm hearing in the streets. You know, I could be the voice and take things to the MMASA board and like, this is what I'm hearing. Let's improve on doing this. You know, just to get the sport growing and the sport better, so that other people can see it as a sport. Because some people unfortunately aren't seeing this as sport. They're seeing this as just a bad thing to do. You're just gonna get in there, hurt yourself, break a leg, break an arm, break a rib, get blue eyes, whatever. But people need to understand, and it is my job to get them to that light, to understand that MMA is a sport, just like tennis, just like soccer. It is a sport. And once you have the heart for it to be in there, you only understand it when you are in there. And when you start practicing and training, then you only start then to realize that this is actually a sport. It's a cool, great sport. It's not only about blood. It's not only about beating each other, but the respect is there, the honor is there, the gratefulness is there. And me as a representative, as one of them, you know, I'm the only. It's basically my job to do just that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inspirational, man. Inspirational. And it's It's been such an insightful conversation, and I know we've only got about 6 minutes left, so I just wanted to finish off with a few last questions. I know
Yeah.
you're someone who trains like crazy, man. I know you said you train for someone you're someone who trains like 4 times a day. Um, I've heard that back in the day it used to take you 2 hours to get to training and stuff like that. You sound like someone who's so motivated and someone who loves to train as well, and
Definitely.
someone who enjoys the whole process. What does your training schedule look like, throughout the week?
Um, Here in House of Tinkerbell, 8 a.m. My training starts at 6. So at 6, I wake up, I go for a jog, like a 5.5 Ks jog, uh, just to get my body going for the day. Come back, then I go to training at 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. Depending on the days. So Monday we have boxing, but 8 a.m. until 9, it's movement training, footwork, speed. You know, we hit the bag until 9, and then from 9 until 10:30 we have boxing rounds, and then I'm done, and then I'll be back again at 3 just to do some conditioning, and then later on at 6 again. And then Tuesdays, the same thing, 6 a.m. Go for a jog, come back, 8 a.m. I'm at gym, and same thing, conditioning until 9:30, and then 9:30 we rest because at 11:30 we go to CrossFit. That's where we get our intense fitness training from. So and then we get it there for an hour. 12:30, 1:45, we done. Then I go back again at training at 5 until 7:30, 8 in the evening. And yeah, and then every day is just another day, but mostly same times, same different sessions, different workouts, same times, and and throughout the whole week. And Saturdays it's kickboxing or sparring sessions. Today we didn't go. Those who are going to the trials tomorrow, so that we don't want to get any unnecessary injuries. So
Of course.
yeah, and then tomorrow is the trials, and we just gonna go in there, have fun as a team, and yeah, and so yeah, I train 3 times a day, three to 4 times a day,
Wow.
5 days a week, and Saturdays is a sparring, boxing or kickboxing. Some days it's even jiu-jitsu, and Sundays it's an off day. Usually me and the boys will play soccer, touch rugby or whatever. But it's like an active rest
Active
sort
rest
of.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but that's the life. That's the life. That's the life we chose. And in between, come home, take a young hour nap, 20 to an hour nap in between, eat up, and get back to work. So
Amazing, man. Amazing. And how are you feeling about tomorrow's trials? I know you mentioned you got your trials tomorrow. You
yeah,
sound
I'm
ready.
excited. Yeah. I'm excited. Simply because of by the looks of things, it looks like 2021 has got more athletes, more new athletes in, and more potential in, more competitive in it. I've seen some of the other provinces trials, which were some of them were last week, some of them are today. So I've seen the pictures and the videos that there's actually some good competition going on. So it's actually really good. So I'm really excited. I can't wait for it. The goal is to just make the sport greater. Make it grow, make it greater, and give it a good name, good name, good reputation, and it's all about having fun. So I'm gonna go in there tomorrow and have fun, and listening to my coaches, and just be fun. Just go in there, have fun, have a good time, walk out of there, and yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for it, brother.
Amazing, man. Amazing. And speaking of giving the sport a good name, man, there's no one better than someone like yourself who's such a nice guy, such a humble guy, a true sportsman, man. So
Uh,
100%, you're an asset to the South African MMA team, and yeah, man, you're an asset to the MMA world. Um, yeah, so it's been an absolute honor to speak to you, and wishing you nothing but success and wishing you all the best for your trials tomorrow. I just wanted to finish with three last questions, real quick.
Quick, yeah,
As these are the questions that we at the Rising Fighter we want to know, and also I think it's like a general kind of fans kind of question as well.
yeah.
Number one, what's your favorite strike? What's your favorite striking move to pull off in sparring or in fights, or is there anything in particular that you like throwing?
Uh, Kicks. Um, uh, um, I like to set up my kicks. The any kicks for me. Side kicks. Leg kicks. Heel spinning heel kicks to the head. Those are and especially and the front tip. The front tip, yeah, that's very effective. Very favorite kick of mine that I love to just to keep the distance and at the same time hurt you, blow your gas out. Yeah, I really like that kick. Yeah.
Amazing, man. Awesome. And number two, what's your favorite submission? If you, I know, you probably have a lot of ones that you like to use, but if you had to pick one, what would be your favorite?
My favorite. Ah, I
It's a
think
tough question.
a DOS and a one flu. A DOS choke and a one flu. Um, it does because of um I have, but only at training I have maneuvered away many ways to get to it, and I can sneak in there, and whether I get it or not, but at least I know I'm there. And the one flew because of most most guys, when you wrestle with them, they make a mistake of keeping their arm over your head, and you just go for it. And especially when they go for like a guillotine, then you can just it's an easy it's an easy submission to land when you know what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm not really a submission guy. I've been conditioned that there's MMA. So whenever we're on the ground, I'm seeing holes where I can punch. I'm seeing holes where I can knee you in on the ground. I'm seeing those holes. I see a submission later on. After me punching you, only then I'll see a submission. If I
Yeah.
can't punch you, then I'll try to better the position so I can get to a punching to get holes where I can punch you. So I'm not really a submission guy. But yeah, when I do get a submission, it does, and everyone feels like yeah, my best. I
Awesome,
like
man. Awesome. And last but not least,
it.
I know there's so many out there, so many great fighters, and you mentioned Brock Lesnar is one of them, which I'm guessing will be in this list. But if you had to pick three of your all-time favorite fighters, past, present, who would you put in your top three list? And I know that's also a tough question, but yeah, who would be your top three if you had to choose?
One, Conor McGregor. 2, the style bender, Israel Adesanya. And 3, Habib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
Nice.
All of them, there's levels to these things. Connor's counter punching, left hand punching, angle changing, footwork, movement. There's none other like Connor. The counter punching he has to the teep. Israel Adesanya is kickboxing. He's so much of a technician that it's just amazing to watch him fight. It's, if you know what he's doing, you will realize the beauty of it. Oh my God, this is art. He is painting a picture here. But you only get it when you know what's going on in there. And 3, Habib, the ground control, the mauling, the foot trips he has. He is a tremendous mauler and a beast on the ground. That with that kind of, if you take those 3 combinations, put it in one athlete, add a little bit of sauce of his own there, you are getting a perfect, unstoppable athlete.
Yep.
I promise you. Yeah.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Those are the big shots for me.
Those are the big shots, yeah. Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar's not in there?
Look, I give credit to Brock Lesnar for reeling me into the sport. If it wasn't for him, I would have never known MMA.
Yeah.
Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah. He was one of the big influential guys who made MMA even bigger, isn't it?
I'll give credit to that. I love him at wrestling, WWE. He's dominant there.
Yeah.
The thing about the cage, there are a lot of wolves out there, and they are just as bad as you are.
Yeah.
And if you look at how Cain Velasquez beat him, it says a lot. If you look at how Wolverine's debut at UFC was, he beat him. So there are a lot of wolves out there. At WWE, he's dominant. He does what he does best. At MMA, he had his shots. Apparently was like the fastest heavyweight ever in the UFC. How he moves. I mean, he got the title, so he has done it all. He can take that on his bucket list. Those 3 are like the main guys on.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Well, peace. I wanted to just say, man, thank you so much for your time. I wanted to, wish you all the best for your trials tomorrow. And, it's been an absolute honor to speak to you. Seriously, man. Like, thank you so much for your time. I'm glad that we finally got this in the book. We've been talking for a while now, so it's good to finally meet you in person. Hopefully one day I'll actually get to meet you in real life,
In person.
That would be amazing, man. But no doubt 2021 is going to be a huge year for you. Amazing things planned, and man, I wish you all the success, all the happiness, everything. And thank you so much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You in the UK, right?
I'm in the UK, man. I'm in the UK.
Brother, I can't be thankful enough. I have to thank you for giving me this platform to actually get my name out there, and the MMA fans to know who I am, and not only in SA but around the world. I mean, the UK people from now will know who I am. The world will know who I am. You have a lot of followers, and they will know who I am. They will know that there's a boy in South Africa. His name is Peace, and he's definitely on the rise. And I can't be thankful enough. Thank you for your time. Thank you for seeing me as a rising star, as a prospect in MMASA, and I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate it. I appreciate this platform. And shout out to the UK. God bless everybody that side, and God bless you, brother.
My brother, thank you so much, man. Those words mean a lot, and it's our dream to help, you know, rising fighters around the world, not just in the UK, but everywhere we go. And yeah, man, it's our dream to share the story, because everyone's got a story, you know. So
Yeah.
everyone's got their unique story. But man, thank you so much. It's been an honor. I appreciate your time, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last time that we're going to be speaking. I'm sure we're going to be speaking a lot. But yeah, man, excited to see what 2021 has got in store for you, and wish you nothing but the best, bro.
Thanks, brother.
All right, man. Take care, man. Speak to you soon.
Oh.
Peace out, man. Bye bye.